All right, let's cut the crap. The Yowie? Yeah, that big hairy bloke they say lives out in the bush. It's not a myth. It's not some made-up creature your uncle talks about after too many beers. The Yowie is real, and he's not what they say he is. He's a giant. A leftover from the old world, the real Australia, the one that existed long before the British rocked up with their maps and lies. This land was part of Tartaria, an ancient civilization they've completely wiped from the history books, buried under mud, rewritten, scrubbed out like it never happened. But the Yowie slipped through the cracks. See, they want you thinking the Yowie is just a cryptid, like Bigfoot's weird cousin or some missing link ape, but that's a distraction. The Yowie is one of the giant humans that used to walk this land, same as the ones they dug up all over the world and pretended not to notice. The Aboriginal mob have been telling stories about the hairy men since forever. Giant people, huge, covered in hair, living out in the wild, avoiding humans. Some were peaceful, some were deadly, but they were real, not stories, history, and it gets deeper. These giants, they weren't alone. They built massive structures, ancient buildings with impossible stonework that we still can't explain. Massive walls, arches, energy domes, technologies that today's engineers couldn't even dream up. And then it all got buried. We're talking about the Great Reset, not the one Klaus Schwab is drooling over. I mean the original one, the mud flood that covered cities, wiped out knowledge, and reset the world. It happened sometime in the 1800s, all over the even earth. Whole civilizations lost, Tartaria gone, and from that muddy mess came a new world built on lies, control, and fake history. And right around then, conveniently, they invented dinosaurs. Yeah, let that sink in. Before the 1800s, no one had ever heard of a dinosaur, not one mention in any ancient scroll, cave art, nothing. Then suddenly, boom, they start discovering dino bones left and right. Give us a break. You ever seen a real dinosaur bone? You haven't, because they don't exist. Everyone you've seen in a museum is a cast, a fake, plastic, plaster, and paint. You know what they were really finding? Giant bones, human bones, dragon bones. Too big to pass off as normal people, too inconvenient to explain. So they made up dinosaurs to cover it all, a whole fake species to hide the truth of giants and Tartaria. And let's be honest, what makes more sense? That a 20-meter lizard with tiny arms ruled the world, or that giant humans once built the old world and some of them are still out there? Because guess what? The Yowie hasn't gone anywhere. He's been spotted all over the country, from the Blue Mountains to outback Queensland. Massive footprints, trees snapped clean in half, deep howls that echo for kilometers, and people scared half to death after running into something the size of a truck, walking on two legs. Ask yourself, why do national parks and state forests always get shut down after sightings? Why do rangers and military show up to investigate? Because they know. They're not protecting you from the Yowie. They're protecting their lies from the truth. We've been told a fairy tale since birth. Dinosaurs ruled the earth? Nah, that's a cover job. All those bones they dig up from so-called prehistoric creatures, they're just the remains of giants, dragons, and Tartarian beasts that once roamed a very different earth. An earth full of power, magic, and tech, the kind we're not allowed to know about. They want you believing in spinning globes, space rocks, and cartoon cavemen riding dinosaurs, but the real story? That's buried right under our feet. The Yowie is living proof that the past didn't go anywhere. It's just been covered up. And every time someone spots one, it chips away at the lie. Because if the Yowie is real, then so are the giants. And if the giants are real, then Tartaria was real. And if Tartaria was real, then the dinosaurs were a lie. And if they lied about that, what else have they lied about? All of it. Every bloody thing. They've rewritten history to keep us small, dumb, obedient. They took away our past so we couldn't see our own power. But the earth remembers, the ruins remember, the Yowie remembers, and we're starting to remember too. So next time someone laughs off the Yowie as a myth, remind them, legends don't get military cover-ups. Legends don't leave footprints bigger than a grown man's chest. And legends don't scream loud enough to shake a whole bloody valley. The Yowie isn't a joke. He's a survivor, and so are we.